Well, I want to take this opportunity to welcome my special friends and you to this video. Now, this video is an important one because what I want to share with you is how we can use the TLC bars. The different ways we can use them on the body for sweeping, for clearing, for bifurcating, for doing work. And it's important that you really study this video and learn it, because if you have your own TLC bars, using them properly will almost guarantee you success. So to start with, I want to share some of the tools that I'm going to be talking about tonight. And the first thing, of course, is the TLC bars. We have several different kinds of TLC bars, from the travel set to the big, whoa, beautiful, expensive set. I'll share them all with you right now. Let's start off with the travel set. We'll start off with the smallest ones. Now, these are the smallest of the TLC bars. Now, actually, I'm going to set these here for everybody to take a look at. You can play with one if you want. These are travel, and these are regular. These are the regular TLC bars that we use every day for doing treatments. They all have a logo on the bottom of them, so you know they're from Advanced Tachyonen Technologies. And they're important to understand that right here on the edges, there's a cut portion. This represents where the energy comes out. The energy moves out this side. Okay, so this is our treating face. That's the face. There are other ones, and I want to share them with you, but I also want you to understand something. This is my workhorse. This is the most common TLC bar. There's tens of thousands of them out there in practitioners' hands around the world, and this is what they're using. This is an Ultra. You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The difference in these two is the polish. That's all. The ability to treat somebody is based on how long this plane is right here. Mm-hmm. This length determines the strength. So it's kind of interesting because the travel TLC bar is the same size as my beautiful Ultra TLC bar. They're the same. So the power is the same. The difference is the face. This face that we look at right here is what we're going to use when we're treating somebody. It's the area that we're covering. This has a smaller face. So therefore, when I'm using the smaller face, I'm covering a much smaller area. Does it change the effectiveness? Absolutely not. If my budget can only afford these are what I go for. If I'm backpacking or traveling a lot, these are what I go for. The only difference is the amount of time it's going to take to do your treatment, not the effectiveness. So we have several different kinds we can use. We have the regular ones like these, and they come in a matched set. This is a matched pair. They're cut along the C-axis. They're perfect. And that's something that's interesting to know, that every single one of these is perfect. And when I say perfect, I mean they are perfectly different from every other pair. You won't find a set of these that are identical to any other, because these are hand cut, hand polished, and hand created. They're made out of laboratory grown quartz, and so they're perfect in their lattice structure, in their silica base, but they're all different. So when you get yours and you see a little, oh, what's this? It's natural, it's normal. Every single one has a mark. Here's a little clear mark on this one. Little things on it that give it its characters. A lot like you. So we have these, which the difference is just money, not effectiveness. We also have another set, and these are called, what are these called?
I don't know. What do you want to show us?
Ultra massage bars. Now these are for the massage therapist. They're highly polished. Do you want to play with one? Mm-hmm. And they're able to, you can actually get deep into the muscles and tissues with these in this way. The energy comes out this little end here. And note, again, same length, same effectiveness. But here we're able to put it onto the body. For regular tachyon practitioners, you know, the medium size like this is the normal thing. This is for somebody who does massage therapy and they like to do work on the muscles. So that's when we get into these. So these are the major ones that we use the most often. Can you tell me, Sylvie, which one's the most powerful?
Well, they are the same.
You're right. They're all the same. Exactly right. So if that was a test and you were answering it and you said the same, you passed. It's based on the length here. Okay? So these are the normal ones that we use. Now there is a few tools that are a bit more powerful than these. And we've only really started sharing these with people in the last year, year and a half. It's been recent. And I'd like to share them with you at home and you guys here today. One of them is this guy. What do you call this?
TP1000?
TP1000, yes sirree. And the TP1000 is a very, very interesting tool because if you notice, what's the first thing you notice about it? Besides it being skinny, it's very long. It is more powerful than this or any of these. However, the face is very, very, very small. So when you're using a TP1000, we use it much, much differently than the regular TLC bars. We will actually use this on acupuncture or acupressure points. Very important to understand that even though it's more powerful, it's limited on what it can work on. So I can work on acupuncture or acupressure points. I can't do if she's got an injured arm. This isn't my tool of choice because I need to work on the whole arm. And this guy here only does that much work at a time. Do you understand?
Yes.
TP1000. There are a couple of other things, and I won't really get into them here today, but I will share with you. These are tachionized Vogel wands, and these are probably the most powerful tool that we make. We don't sell them without a workshop, ever. It's just the way it is. And I would love to share with you how they work, but I think that's beyond the scope of this little video. Maybe you can check out one of the workshops on this, but they do come in different sizes.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, just like the TLC bars, there's an energy in and an energy out. TLC bars are cut along this edge like we looked at before. Energy comes in the big side with the logo, out the small side where the face is. On these guys, the fat side is where the energy comes in, the fatter part, and as it tapers down smaller, that tells you where the energy is coming out. So the energy comes in this and out that. These are very, very powerful and very useful if you know how to use them. They can cut along and clear energies in a very unique way. So maybe one day I'll see you guys have one of these workshops. If you have questions, email us or go on the forum or one of the groups. Ask your questions. We'll be glad to help you out. And as you know, it's in different languages, so whatever you speak, give us a shot. Now today, one thing I want to say about these guys is that they are crystal. If you drop them, they can and will break. Don't do that. If they get smacked together, you can chip them or damage them. If you have a small chip or a small piece missing because of an accident, don't worry about it too much. It doesn't affect it. If you sever or cleaver the crystal in half, then you've got a problem. But usually, you know, they don't affect, it doesn't affect too much. If you do chip one, be careful not to have it be too sharp and to cut you, because it is high quality quartz and it gets very, very sharp and it can cut the skin easily if it gets nicked. Besides that, don't worry about it so much. I'm going to put all these away. And I'm going to shove that way out of the way so it's not in our treatment area. And we're going to focus on these guys. TLC bars. Now, in order to use the TLC bars, there's a few things that you just have to realize. First off, silica discs. It's important to understand that this is a tachyon antenna just like this. Okay? The difference is, which one's more powerful? Clearly the TLC bar. It's based on the thickness and the material. This is made out of a natural silica dioxide that's been melded together to create it, and this is a grown crystal. This is much thicker, much more powerful than this. So that means that if you're used to doing treatments at home, maybe you've been using some of these, and you know, it's this effect that you get. Oh, that helps a little bit. But when you go to using TLC bars, it changes a lot. The effectiveness of the TLC bars at bifurcating, creating a shift in the energetic pattern is very, very, very strong with TLC bars. Please make sure you watch all the videos, the energetic continuum, the SOFs, the bifurcations, tachyon versus frequencies, all of them, so you get an overview of all the possibilities. And that's important, because I can't go through all of that here now. But what I can say is when you're using TLC bars, you're going to have more bifurcations, you're going to have more occasion for the energies to release, and when it releases, we need to get rid of it. And it's very simple. So that's why we're sitting here with this massage table today. I want to show you how to set up the massage table so that it can help us move the energy and release the energy when we're doing a treatment. It's a very simple process to do. We call it the river of life. And what it is really is, can you hold these two? Mm-hmm. The silica discs that we use are the normal silica discs that we've been using for years. And it's important to use these, not the ultras. These are what you want to use to create this river of life. It's much more effective this way. And the energy comes out one side. You can see, if you're looking at it, that there's a marking on here that says energy comes out this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to use 4 of these with the energy coming out. And I want you to just hold these right here, just for a moment. And I'm going to use 2 more on the other end. Hold these. And these are going to actually be lined up together, but at the end of the massage table underneath. But the idea I want you to see is that the energy is coming in here, the tachyon, and coming here and hitting here and going down. Now, since these have about a 15-foot range, this is a very long pattern. You understand? So when we put this on the table, we are setting up a river of life right underneath the table that allows the energy to flow. When we put somebody on the table, they immediately start to tumble into that natural flow, and it aids us significantly when we're using our TLC bars. So let's take a look at how we put these on. It's a very simple process. All you need is some kind of tape, cell dots, or something of that nature, and I'll show you a temporary way to do it. Aligning the silica discs onto the massage table is very simple. You really need to get down here at eye level and take a look at which surface will be best to place the discs at. Just as long as they're below the head, as you can see here, you can put them on the inside or the outside of this frame. And you line it up here on the top, and then you're also going to do the exact same thing on the bottom. When you do that, adhere them with either a double-sided tape, or in our case, you can see us using this Scotch tape for our demo purposes. Now, when you look down the table, you can see that they are fairly aligned, or you should be able to see that they're fairly aligned so that they're even. And that creates our river of life. Now, with those set up, we are ready, with the energy flowing this way, to actually begin to look at how to use the TLC bars on the body. There's a few rules that you want to learn and perfect. Okay? The first rule here is that whenever you place the TLC bars on your table, you are always placing them with the energy going along the river. This is a conscious choice that we make to always support this flow. When you have a client on, or a beloved on the table, as we're going to do here, you want to make sure that the energy is always running this way. We know that there's a crown chakra here, and it's open, and the energy comes in. And from the vertical perspective, as you know, I believe that it comes through, all the way down, and out. So when they're laying here, we're supporting that natural flow. In our case, we have more than one flow to support. Okay? So, I'm going to place these over and out of the way. If you notice, I have a nice little table here. I use a table like this covered with something soft so that I can put my tools here without damaging them. If you notice, my TLC bars are up here, and they are also, again, in this direction. Now, many of you have other tachyon tools at home, I'm sure. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video, because nobody starts with TLC bars. These are the elite tools. Let's say that you have one of these sleep pads at home, or maybe a cocoon, or a sleep wrap, or even a massage blanket, like this massage wrap actually. You can use any tachyonized tools that you have as part of your treatment. So this can be used on top. This can be used underneath. This can be put underneath the sheets. You can even have your sheets tachyonized. And sometimes on the auction system, people have tachyonized sheets available. So keep your eye out on that. That's a good thing. So whatever you got, bring it. Bring it to your session. You got massage oil, you got whatever it is, bring it. Use what you got. Let's go ahead and start. Would you like to hop up here?
Sure.
Okay. Now, I want to really stress something. Really get you to understand. You see this? She is very pregnant. Tachyon is great for babies. Tachyon's great for everything. You cannot hurt this baby. We can give it everything that we've got and it'll just dance. That's all that's going to happen. So feel very confident that when you're treating people, the only thing that can ever happen is they can have a detox. That's why we set up the River of Life first, so that we can control that energetic creation of balance so that the detox is at the minimum. But that's the only side effect. We may work on her so much that she has to go to the bathroom a lot. But if you were pregnant, you'd know she has to do that anyway. So it's not a big deal. Point is, Tachyon is safe for everyone. TLC bars. The thing that we do with them, I'm going to set them here, and you're going to see right here that I'm setting them down on the edge. Always going in this direction. Let's say that I wanted to just treat a pain in her leg today first, okay? If her pain was down here in the knee and she was complaining of this area, I'm going to use a couple of things in order to set up that treatment. So when we're treating a knee, you need to bring everything that you've got. Hopefully you have panther juice or some tachionized freeze. And I will always use the freeze or the panther juice first. Rub it in very well. Allow it to set in. Of course, it would be without the pants here, but I don't want to expose her at this point. And then I would use whatever discs I have. Whether you have small discs, large discs, whatever you've got, and always with the energy going into the body. We want to charge the SOFs, the subtle organizing energy fields, check out the video, of the knee or the area that we're working with, and get it started. Okay? Now, when you use the TLC bars, there's a couple of rules. Rule number 1, always start with in. Which way is in?
This way.
How do you know? By these cuts, correct? Yes. This is the smaller surface, this is the bigger, here's the logo, in. Always start in. If I have a disc on top, I can set these on top of the disc. I'm not worried about that, unless, of course, you're hurting her. If you're hurting her by putting pressure on it, don't do that. Then you just hold it above. Always start in. I use a count of 20. You can use a clock, you can count, or you can just know when 20 seconds approximately has arrived. If you go 30, 40, you're not hurting anything, but what you do want to do is make sure that the next 2 cycles are about the same amount of time. I go in, then I reverse the TLC bar so that I am bringing energy out. Now, we say out, but it's really not out as we think of it. What we're doing is we're charging the non-physical SOFs. We have physical and non-physical. You are not just a physical body, you have this emotional body, you have this spiritual body, you have all of these different layers. And so we reverse this so that we're affecting all of them. And then I turn it again and go back in for approximately the same amount of time. So here's the rule. In, out, in. That's one treatment on one spot. It's only on that one spot that we do it. In, out, in. Then I can move it to the next spot so that eventually I've covered every spot that is in pain. In, out, in. If you have severe pain or something that's chronic, then we go to a little bit more intensive, and that'll be in, out, in, out, in. 5 steps. Starting on in, ending on in, always. In, out, in, out, in. You got it? Or shorter, in, out, in. Now, I want to use this on every single point that's got pain until I've done the whole knee. Once I'm done with that, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that's very, very important, and that's called sweeping. Sweeping is an action that we use, the TLC bars, and I want to share with you a couple of tricks to doing that. The first trick is holding the TLC bar correctly. I hold it on 3 fingers and cup it with my little finger just like that. The reason is that right underneath here is protected. You can see that if I move this TLC bar along her body in this way, if I do accidentally bump into anything, like the baby or anything else, I'm bumping into it and rubbing with the bottom soft part of my finger. This is very, very important because you can keep from accidentally hurting somebody. Sometimes when you're doing this work, something will happen and there'll be an energy movement in your friend, client, or person you're working on, and their head will jump up. And there's nothing that hurts your treatment more than hurting somebody with your TLC bar while you're treating their knee. It's not a good thing. So use your finger underneath that. And sweeping, we start above the head and we come in. And if you notice, I'm using an angle that's very, very particular. It's an angle that pushes the energy straight down into the river. And as I do that, I push that energy, and as she releases any energy, it's going to automatically go straight down and it's going to hit this river. And as it does that, it's going to bifurcate it back to nothingness. Just release it. You see, energy needs to have something to hold on to. Your thoughts need you to hold on to. You put your thought right here and it will slowly but surely dissolve. It'll disappear. It'll be gone forever. It'll never exist. All energy needs an anchor. Say it again. All energy needs an anchor. That means that it has to have something to hold on to stay in form. If you can get it to release, it will turn back into its previous state of nothingness. And so when we're working with somebody with TLC bars, we are capable of having a lot of things let go. And because we're going along this direction, they're going to let go downward. And this river of life is going to push. And she's going to be able to release more than she could possibly do with just a silica disc type of treatment. Very, very, very powerful. So watch the sweeping. I'm going to start at the head. I come out from above the head. And I will do this maybe 10 times. You notice my hands? It's more of an art. And I'm going to go all the way out and past her and come back around. Now when I'm coming back around, I have the TLC bar straight down. Not pointed at her, not pointed up or anything, just straight down. And I come back in. And I will sweep all of the areas, always starting above, all of her body. What I'm really doing is I'm connecting her whole energetic system back into oneness. If you've had something happen, boom, I hurt my knee. This and this disconnect. Oh, you can't believe you did it. Oh, my stupid knee. Whatever the words that come out of you, whatever the thoughts are, there's a disconnection. We need whole body healing to happen. This is part of the Tachyonen era, to bring complete and whole energy healing to the entire system. Something nothing else does. We're not just dealing with the knee, we're bringing her whole system back to a state of awe. And that's what you can do with your TLC bars. Sweeping is very, very important. I'd like to watch you do it. See, good, perfect with the fingers. That's good. See now, see how he's got his fingers right here? He's not going to bump her when he does this. He's protecting her. If she jumps up or turns real quick, it's going to hit his hand, not her, the crystal against her. Excellent form. Go ahead. Now watch. He's coming in, but you want to have your angle just a little bit more like this. You want to go through the body and into the river of life and start above her head, both of them. One more time. You want to have your angle just a little bit more like this. You want to go through the body and into the river of life. And start above her head, both of them. Okay, go ahead. A little more angle. A little more. Perfect. And just kind of glide along. Sweeping is fun. It's very, very nurturing. I've never had a client say, stop doing that. They always say, can you do a little more? That was great. I like that. Because feeling good is an integration. One more time. Let's see. Let me see that perfect form. Good. Great. Now you notice when he's doing this, I'm not worried how far away from the body he is. He could be here. He could be up here. It doesn't matter because these have a 90 to 150 foot field. Just as long as he's in the right place, he's good. And also when he's going along, he wants to cover the whole body. Not this way, but slices as he's coming along so he can do the whole body. That's why we do it 8, 10 times as we're coming along. So we can connect the whole thing, including the shoulders, down the arms, out the hands. Excellent. You notice also that going slowly is very important. I watch some people, they get up here like this, and I'll show you, it's really funny. They'll get up here and they'll go, like they're trying to dig their way out of a hole, okay? That's not balancing. It energetically isn't good for them and it's not good for the client. You want to make love with your TLC bars and your client's energy field. You want to just stroke it. Bring it down. And enjoy that moment. You're really connecting with your client on their energetic level by connecting it, and also on your own. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but we have a baby that's moving since we've been doing this. He's moving around right here. And it's very important to realize that we can treat babies. Can I play here? Let me take a look at this. Ooh, we got some layers going on here. Okay. On a baby, we could start off with some massage cream or some other type of Tachyonen ointment. It's really good for the skin. We can take this, and you'll see some action maybe here because the baby's going to like this. Just putting a little bit on my hands. And we're going to rub that in. Ah, here's its head right here. You want to feel its head? Mm-hmm. Put your hand right there. Feel that? That's its head. Mm-hmm. Its head's up here. It's not down here. It's going to turn, I'm sure. And here, we can actually use our TLC bars. Be careful because like right now my hand is slippery. So be careful of that. You can put your TLC bar here and you can move it around. This is another way we can do it. I'm putting my finger underneath and I'm going to just draw these nice circles on the baby. Now the important thing is that you realize you can't hurt the baby, the mom, by using Tachyonen. Oh, look at that right there. Oh, it's moving. Oh, look at that. Ooh. See that? So we can do all this that you want to do. It's very, very good on the bladder. It's very good for the lungs up here for the mom because there's not much space for her lungs. And we can just really, really use a lot of Tachyonen on this area. Now when you're done, what you want to do is when you're all finished, you're going to want to do a what? Sweeping. Yes, exactly. I don't know if I did that right. These things have a combination lock to them, only moms know. Then what we want to do is sweeping. Careful, they're a little slippery. Let me see how you sweep. Come around this side.
Like these?
Yep, and let's see your finger. Good, excellent. And you notice she has her finger in the right place, and also the logo's here, which means the energy is coming here. As long as she keeps it at that right angle, she's going to be able to sweep through this whole body. She always starts above the head and comes in. That's perfect. Yeah, that's right. You be perfect. Perfect. See her slow technique? Perfect. You see how she comes back, but she's always moving the energy, moving the energy. It's a loving release. It's a loving movement all the way out. Excellent. And now if we did a treatment on the baby, she would go ahead and sweep, connecting mom and baby 8 to 10 times, just like always. Baby is moving. Now, when she got done, she put the TLC bars down here with the energy going along this way. Very important always to do that. Before I let mom up, I always put the TLC bars with the energy going out on my table. If you wanted to leave her, if you have a cocoon, you can do a cocoon. I think there's a great video on the cocoon and the ultra cocoon. If you want to just let her relax a little bit, this is a tachyonized wrap. TLC bars. They're simple to use. They're one of our most powerful tools. Respect them. Use them correctly, and you will be amazed at the results you get. In, out, in. Energy going at the correct angle. You have to have the discs to create the flow. The river of life. How many discs do you need? We have 4. You don't have 4? Use 2. You don't have 2? Use 1. But you need that river. You need it. It's part of the thing that helps let it go. Remember, you're charging physical and non-physical selves. In, out, in. Or in, out, in, out, in. Always end on in. You can't hurt anybody with tachyon. If you screw it all up, you just won't get the great results that day that you were hoping for if you screw it all up. But that's the only thing you can screw up. You can't ever hurt them. So, have fun with the TLC bars. Get to work. Let us know any of your questions. Let us know how we can help you. And maybe we can see you at a workshop where we can, side by side, explore the tachyon era. He'll cut away, don't worry. The TLC, the silica discs that we use are the regular TLC. The silica discs that we use are the regular. In our case, what we're going to do is we're going to take the I'm going to use a couple of things in order to set up that treatment. If you have passion dew, if you have severe pain or something that's really progressed. Tachyon.